like that. So what's up, everybody? We are Metalhead Alliance here. Jesse James off the camera, and joined here today with the Nashvilleian thrash death extravaganza Ire Uprise. To your right, my left, the guy in the cunt shirt. That we got. Your bass player's a useless cunt. His name is Quentin. Well, can guess what he does for the band.
Nothing.
He plays bass. We got Cameron in the back there in the Camelot shirt for guitar and vocals. We got Ben in the Aussie glasses with the peace sign, who beats on skins, his own included, in the band. And we have Ryan here on the far right, who also plays guitar. So thank you guys so much for joining us today for this interview.
Our pleasure, man.
All right. So first of all, your guys' band name, Ire Uprise. The name itself reflects a pretty intense and fierce emotion or feelings. But yet, if anybody's seen you, I know I've seen you guys a number of times, that is not really so much what you guys are going for in terms of your performance or stage presence. So give us some explanation as to the reason behind this. Why go with such a intense, you know, aggressive type name and then just act like fools?
I don't know, man. It's kind of like just this weird like dichotomy we have as a band of just a lot of our themes are like light and dark, and you know, just a lot of weird stuff that really doesn't make sense, but kind of does to us just because we're kind of lunatics sometimes about shit. And it's also a little bit because like the band has evolved a lot since, you know, 3 years now?
Like 2.5.
2.5, 3 years.
So not that old.
Yeah, so it did start much more with an aggressive tendency to it.
Sure.
And then we just kind of grown a little bit. Oh, made it sound super old. But
we also couldn't think of a name.
No. So how did that? Yeah. So Ire Uprise. Can you tell us who came up with the band? Is this
Ryan?
Okay. So story time. We knew the concept of like that we wanted to represent that kind of aggressive feel, but also be about, you know, representing like this idea of like, I guess, a revolution for the people, like bringing an uprise, and that's where that came from. So we need some word to represent that, and I came across like this, like on Facebook and like those newsfeed things.
Right, these suggested articles for you.
Yeah, and it had this thing that it in the headline it said, "Parents raise much ire over the newest Barbie doll edition," or something. I was like, that's a really cool word.
Let me Google that. So
and then,
cool.
It just happened to fit and gel really well.
This is my first time hearing that story. I just joined the band. I'm like, what's it called? Ire Uprise. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, okay. Is this the original lineup? Have you guys had?
Essentially, yes. We had a different drummer to begin with, but that was from the beginning a hired gun situation. There was never supposed to be much longevity with that.
When I saw them, when I was basically auditioning for the band and checking them out, scoping them out, they were scoping me out. It was almost a completely different band.
Really?
So I guess you could say that this is kind of the original lineup.
How much different was it in terms of just musically or atmosphere? Or?
A lot of it, image, music, everything.
Yeah.
It was like the original concept for the band when me and Ryan kind of first got in touch was just this Slayer meets Bodom, super thrashy kind of melodic thing.
Yeah.
And since then we've tried to branch out and bring a little bit more atmosphere and just a bit more, you know, intriguing stuff. Because, you know, we did the first EP in that kind of style, and we was like, you know, this is cool. It was really accurate for what it needed to be right then. It's kind of just can't really do that.
It's kind of funny though, because like the song "You're Not Worth My Blood" though was like the last song we wrote on there, and it was like it's also the first song on the EP, but it's the one where like we started moving like to a more, I don't know.
I like the break. Is that I like the breakdowns on.
Dude, I love that video that you put up of you listening to it. I was like, that's like
that was shortly after you guys. I think you released that last year, the Empire Complex.
Yeah, March of last year.
And it was shortly after I got that, and I was like, hell yeah, man, this is
like the best, dude.
And so you guys have that up on Bandcamp. It's available for purchase and download. You also have the Running Rampant demo.
You want to talk about?
Let's talk about that. That got a reaction. So.
Okay.
So that was when me and Ryan got together in the spring of 2014. 14.
14.
14.
Before you.
And so he gave me a list of, I think, like 3 or 4 songs that he had been working on that he kind of had like a lot of ideas for, and Rampant was one of those. And that was the one out of those that really kind of stuck. One other did, but it got changed a whole lot, and that was Blackguard. But yeah, Rampant was the first song, basically.
It was, as I put it, the perfect homage to bands like Slayer, Metalhead, and just all the, even Sepultura here and there.
It was kind of the song though that like you showed everybody like in the beginning. Like, I remember like the way we met was we were both going to school on campus at MTSU, and I sat next to him in history of recording industry for like a whole entire semester and didn't talk to him at all.
And then he's like next to me, like I was
literally
just,
elbow to elbow, and just like nothing. Huh?
And then it was like the last week
I said something. I was like, all right,
you smell funny.
It was something about like Reaper DAW or something.
Yeah, we were just talking about like audio stuff because I found out that he was also an audio engineer.
Oh, very cool.
We both had the same major, and I was just like, well, if we're going to be hanging out,
might as well
I should
strike up a conversation,
And we went back to his place.
And he keeps getting all these amazing shirts that he keeps wearing, like all the Cannibal Corpse, and just, I was just like,
oh, yeah, that's...
dude!
Yeah.
I need to
common ground there.
Give me a bro boner.
Like, we went back to his place, though, and he showed me, like, the demo and everything. It was a much different song. Blackguard was also in there, and it sounds entirely different in its like primordial form.
Wow.
So I guess it kind of ties into it, but basically, like, I pretty much wrote like 3 songs that I recorded all through a amp sim from my Fender Mustang, like a little practice amp, into my laptop. And then I used like a guitar, and then I used the Rock Band mic to record the vocals as a temp vocal kind of thing.
Perfect.
And about 3/4 of this band is formed purely from Craigslist, pretty much.
Yeah,
really.
Like I met him first through Craigslist, just from a random ad, and then I met this guy through a guitar player that I met through Craigslist because I was looking for a drummer, and he recommended him
Chris
to me.
Tate?
Chris Tate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, shout out to Chris.
Tate.
Chris.
Thanks to you. Any expectations on new music, since that's all that we know of right now in terms of what's available?
Yeah, absolutely. We're pretty deep into pre-production right now, doing guitar demos and stuff.
Cool.
We don't really have a timeline yet, but it's definitely it's
thinking about an EP or an album,
Like
full album.
Yeah, we're working on
got enough material. Excellent.
Yeah, we're
terrific.
Super stepping the game up. Like I said, no real timeline yet, but we're really close to being able to start drum tracking right now. All the composition is essentially done. It's just a matter of demoing everything out, getting drums on it.
So who writes? Mostly in the band, would you say? Is it a combined effort on everybody's part, or is there one more?
Yeah, it is. It depends on the song, too. Like, there's some times where I'll bring in a whole song, and then we'll tweak it. There'll be times Ryan will bring in a whole song.
It's a very diplomatic process.
Yeah. If there's ever anything in a song that someone's uncomfortable with, we change it.
Like, kind of how it starts usually is Ryan or Cameron will have, like, a couple riff ideas.
Yeah.
And they'll like show everyone else, and they'll kind of write more around that, and then like over time I write bass parts, and like they'll jam with Ben, but like he won't usually write his final parts till a little bit later.
I just write like a rough structure.
Yeah.
And then add the salt.
Later. Who writes lyrics?
So the EP was pretty collaborative. I've been handling most of everything so far for the album, just because there's a lot of like personal notes and stuff.
He's too good.
Personal in the sense of the lyrical theme of the songs are very personal to you.
Yeah,
very cool.
Definitely.
Kind of like, I mean, the theme for this album.
We can talk about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's totally up to you.
Well, so that would be Cameron.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of the themes are, I've had a crazy couple years with a lot of just like really close deaths in my family.
Yeah.
my dad and a couple of my uncles and stuff like that passed away in the last couple of years.
Wow.
Pretty close together too.
Oh, wow.
It's funny because when we met, I
Yeah, it's funny.
just got through
You
dealing
dick.
with that exact same fucking scenario.
Yeah, and it is all of it. This is by no means like my album or anything. It's just
No,
like that's where a lot of
And the deaths were super personal for us too. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
his dad was like the band's dad in
Yeah.
a
Sure.
way.
Yeah,
So like, you know,
definitely.
we're all very
Yeah.
we're crushed that he's gone.
Like,
but
we
you
were
know.
we were over at his dad's house like a whole lot of the time, and he would like buy us pizza and stuff. And
Really?
He bought our first shirts.
Yeah,
He
bought
did.
all of our.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah, I remember hearing about
totally.
that.
So
yeah.
you know, a lot of that is definitely in the lyrics and in the music too. The music that's been coming lately has been just a lot darker, a lot more atmospheric. Definitely more varied on like tempos and stuff like that. We have, I think, in this album we have
That's
the
thanks to this
fastest-
guy right here.
Yeah,
And this guy.
we have
Like
I think we have the fastest and the slowest song we've ever done on this album.
Yep.
I'm excited to hear it, guys.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
It sounds like a very intense
I
experience
think me
just
and
all
Quentin
around.
just have an obsession with just making really weird, freaky stuff.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Terrific. So far, what's your guys' favorite song to play live?
oh,
I like Wanderlust. Wanderlust's like one of our
Yeah.
newer ones.
it's off. It's going to be on the record.
Yeah.
So obviously we're still happy with like playing new
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
Just
really
that.
get it yet, but I mean, we still play it
Eventually.
live.
You'll just have to come see us live.
That's right. You got to see it to
It
believe
used-
it.
It used to be the hardest bass song,
Yeah.
and that's why I liked it a lot.
That's
But
a
I don't
fun
know.
one.
Revolution's my second
Funny,
favorite.
funny enough,
Yeah.
Wanderlust is my least favorite song to play live.
You're just
mine-
like,
I think You're Not With My Blood is probably still my favorite, at least
Yeah.
as of right now. Yeah, but I know the stuff that's gonna come out is gonna be.
Oh man, it
Really, really
hurts
fun
the
live.
fact that we can't play it yet.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, if you guys knew.
oh yeah. I mean, I just from knowing what I know about you guys and hearing what I've heard so far, got nothing but super much excite about the new
Even
stuff.
with what you've heard, I doubt like a lot of people with what everybody's heard. I don't think people are going to be prepared. For
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely completely new.
Wow.
Like
So this
something I guess we can talk about a little bit is, I mean, there are going to be string arrangements.
Yeah,
There-
we're gonna have orchestration and
Orchestral
stuff.
a lot of synth stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot more atmospheric. But it'll still have our like soul in it. And everything.
Yeah.
It's still the same vision as the band when it started.
Yeah.
It's just a little
Evolving
bit more of a
something.
focused and matured kind of way of handling it. I guess as pretentious as that sounds. But
No, I mean,
yeah, man,
that's,
we
it's
really
very
know what
real.
we're doing. Like, we still have no idea what the fuck we're doing, but we just know what we want to do. So.
So speaking about music and writing and stuff like that, if and this is probably something that each of you can individually answer because it's not really a collective question.
Yeah.
If you could be credited with the creation of a song or a riff, what song would that be? We'll start with Quentin.
Like,
if anybody could say, "Man, I love that song," and you're like, "Yeah, I wrote that," or a line or a riff or something that like people are just like that's the riff in I don't know, Walk With Me in Hell or
On the
something.
water.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
that's a hard one.
That is tough.
I got one.
Okay,
Yeah, go
Ryan,
to
go,
Ryan.
Ryan.
I do Dayman. I would take all the credit for writing
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Ryan Irvin. You're welcome.
I love Holy Wars by Megadeth.
Yeah.
Like any of the riffs in that song, I would love to have said that I wrote that.
Mhm.
But Dave got it to it first.
I would say probably like More Than a Feeling by Boston. I
Yeah,
think that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm a huge fucking Boston fan.
and I think that I grew up listening to Boston
Yeah.
because of my dad, and I felt like their music style was a bit innovative.
Yeah,
like
it
they
absolutely
were
was.
ahead of their
Yeah,
time.
Yes.
Tom Schultz was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
This good.
Yeah.
Us and Them by Pink Floyd. Like,
Oh yeah, man.
Son of a bitch.
He took my song.
Plagiarism!
either that or like Wish You Were Here. That's a really
Some
good
Floyd
one.
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
What about you, Ben?
Oh God, I don't know.
Because in your case, it's drums, so.
Right? It wouldn't even necessarily be drums because I just have a lot of favorite shit.
See, I figured you picked Phil Collins. Anything him at this
I had
point.
someone argue to me that Phil Collins is the greatest drummer ever.
Oh.
It was like a legitimate argument.
Yes, needless to say, it was very.
How long did that last?
Like,
A while.
30, A good 30 seconds.
Wow.
With me just
So
tossing out music theory and him just being like, what?
So that's some pretty good selections there. Let's talk a little bit about our local scene.
Oh yeah.
Our local bands here in the Middle Tennessee area. Who are some of your guys' favorite local bands to see and jam or?
Taru.
Love those.
Yeah,
Love those guys and gal.
We just played
Yes.
with them.
Yeah, just play with them.
Oh,
I
my
live 5
goodness.
minutes from them and we hang out and get drunk all the time. It's great.
Yeah.
I love Flummox a lot.
Yeah.
Mortius, who's like super up and coming.
Yep,
Those
yep.
dudes are fucking great.
Yeah.
Yep.
They slay.
And then Obelisk for me. I think those would be like my top. Like, our scene is awesome, but like those dudes, I'm all really good friends with those guys.
Yeah.
and
Conquer the Distance.
Really love them.
Trigger
Oh yeah.
Midget.
Hell yeah, man.
Dude, they're like brothers to us, man. Because we can't help but play every show with them for
Pretty
some
much,
reason.
yeah.
We just happen to get booked with them all the time.
If destroy,
Yes.
Oh, and it's now on
Calling 'em
camera,
out.
calling you out now. I think a lot of people would probably back you on that.
Dude, oh my god, I would be so happy.
I'd
Well.
have to say Fable Cry.
yeah.
Man.
I love Fable Cry. So
I'll tell you what, I saw them for my very first time when they played in support of Raven Black
Oh wow.
a couple weeks ago at Autograph in Murfreesboro, and of course they've got quite a following, and Fable Cry does, and I never really took the time to pay attention to them, and I kicked myself for it. I'm like, I've been missing out on this
This is so
for
cool.
so long. Like, it was great.
the first time I ever saw them was like one of their CD release shows.
Really.
Yeah, I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, and I didn't really, because I hadn't really listened to them ahead of time. I had just listened to stuff on YouTube, and I'd seen their image and how their
it's so
live
much better
performance. Yeah, it does. It takes the sound just to a whole
Oh, God,
different level.
they
Yeah.
have dancers and puppets.
Yep.
Wish we had dancers.
I wish we had
puppets. Wish we had a budget.
All right. So here's an odd question.
Yes.
Describe Ire Uprise with a color, a flavor, and an emotion.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Shit.
So that kind of covers all three.
Shit!
God, a color. What was it? A color, a flavor,
And an emotion.
and an emotion.
Oh.
I would think that this is an easy question for Ben and Quentin with synesthesia.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
man.
a multitude of colors all the time.
Emotionally, very having a hard time with this.
I know. I would almost say like gray.
Can we say we're tutti frutti for
Sure.
for flavor?
That'd be
Sure.
I'd say, I don't know,
Why
it's
not?
weird, but I'd say it's like, if it makes sense, it's like a happy kind of anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Almost
Yeah.
like venting.
There's a lot of duality in the whole band, even in the composition and stuff. We have stuff where I'll do a major harmony or a minor harmony to them doing a major line,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and just a really weird.
If we're doing something pretty simple on guitar, he's doing something crazy on bass. We like
And
everything.
he does it in
is the
reverse
opposite,
because he
all
just
the
does it to
time.
spite us.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
"Oh, we know how hard that guitar part is." I just go, boom.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah,
But
Hit that
being
E
said,
string.
That being said, I would say gray because black, white, gray because I'm that creative. Haha.
Oh, it's a little bit of both.
Flavor, dude, I don't know.
So posh.
The strongest coffee, really
Some
crazy strong.
Some Death Wish coffee or
Death
something.
Wish coffee.
Yeah, coffee. And then yeah,
Just
kind of like Ben
talking
said,
about
like
it
a
today.
really releasing anger, but it's not necessarily a destructive.
It's
anger.
like when you're masturbating and you're just
Oh, yeah.
angry, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
there it is.
So,
Oh, that would be
so
a
it's
good
an
one.
orgasm.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that an emotion?
So it's-
just
Yeah, angry
post-orgasm?
sex, angry sex.
I love it.
So that's a great collective
Yeah.
of all kinds of things
Gray,
that
black
most of
coffee,
us
angry
would.
sex.
Yeah, there we go.
So
Some-
every
some
Saturday
tutti-
night for us.
So,
Yeah, basically.
Every time I fuck that bitch at work. Really, really long inside joke. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that at that.
Please do. I don't want to have to explain that.
The next 20 minutes will
Yeah, that's like a 20
That's an
It's like-
odyssey.
That'll be another time.
2 years of shit.
That is an odyssey.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So metal, as a genre, has evolved a lot over the years.
Really?
No way.
In a lot of ways. I mean, we have so many different subgenres, and
Right.
even now there's things that pop up that you're like, wow, that hasn't been thought of yet.
Yeah.
What do you guys think has been the one constant that has remained for metal, regardless of the evolution of it? What,
the same or
yeah, what is
stayed
one
the
thing that
same
has stayed
through
the
all
same?
that?
Lars
What-
Ulrich has never changed.
Aw.
You think all the years of something would change.
I think the kind of like community, like brotherhood,
Yes.
sisterhood
Yeah.
thing has always been there and will always be there, and that's the reason it'll never go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like-
it's just so
Tight
primal it's just such a fundamental thing about what heavy metal is.
Somebody described metal as like the cockroach of the music industry.
Definitely.
Like it will never
Mhm.
die.
Absolutely.
It's just gonna like
People think it's
find its way
going
through
away,
everything.
or people think it's dying out, and you get some of these people that will say certain things that,
Yeah.
oh well, because of this, that, and the other. But when you look at it as a whole, it's still there, man.
And then like something always changes. Something always makes it.
It's kind of like
you
the
know,
universe.
fresh
I
again.
think it's
Yeah, definitely.
constantly changing in itself to extend itself. I don't know. I'm not gonna get too
No, let's
philosophical
not,
here.
it's not physics.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Come on.
Yeah. Right
We
now.
were trying to keep this under 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But so guys, that's pretty much all the questions that I had. But I always like to offer you guys the time to, talk about any upcoming shows that you got going on, things you want to plug that we can encourage people to support you in any ways, where they can find you online, stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, we're everywhere online, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Oh, Instagram.
Instagram.
Oh,
is
you
our
got the-
big
We got some tasty stuff there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
exclusive
we're doing
content.
a lot.
Yeah.
so is it just Ire Uprise, your Instagram handle?
with
Yeah.
underscores.
Ire
Ire
underscore.
underscore and underscore Uprise. Yeah.
Because somebody took it probably.
Exactly. I don't know why we did that, but we did. We're actually going to be taking a little break from live performances here for the next couple months.
We just finished playing with Shania's birthday.
Yeah.
Metalhead.
Yeah.
And then we did the Flemix
Fifth anniversary
5th year
show.
anniversary. But yeah, we're pretty much going to go dark for a while and work on the album.
Yep.
Because,
yeah.
Shout out to Shania, by the way.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, fantastic. That was a really cool. We didn't actually make it out to we were there the first night of the
Oh,
2-night
sorry.
thing. Yeah, so unfortunately we didn't get to make it out to
Yeah,
the.
dude.
That was interesting. That was that was quite an ordeal, which we won't go into just right now because it's already getting blown up on on the internet. So we already know how that went. But congrats to you guys for all your success with the new album. We're definitely looking forward to the step in the direction that's taken. So guys, everybody, make sure you check out Ire Uprise. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Their albums, their EP, which was released last year, Empire Complex, is available on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
For $5.
For $5.
$5.
You can stream it all day long you want, but you'll want to buy it after you do that because you just can't be out of, you can't leave home without it.
We like eating food. And
That too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then all the money, I'm sure, is going to go towards production for the new album and all,
Exactly.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
definitely put back what you guys are putting into it. Get out of it what you're putting into it. So thank you guys again so much for taking the time to speak with us today, everybody. Check out Ire Uprise.